Good morning, everyone. I'm sure that everybody is ready with their presentations. So, in 3 minutes' time, everybody is requested to prepare and get ready with the presentation. I will randomly ask one by one to present your views. And before that, if you can write in the chat box that you are ready with your presentation, so I can select accordingly. Those who are ready with the presentation, those students can write, I am ready in the chat box so that I can call them first. Otherwise, I'll have to ask people randomly, and you will reply that I need 5 minutes or 2 minutes or so. And before we move on to the presentation business, I have certain observations that I like to share with you people. Observation number one: when you present something, you are sharing, you are telling. So don't try to make haste that you're going to complete it in stipulated time, or you go faster, right? So speak slowly. Pronunciation, if it is not okay in the first go, I can allow that. Here, fluency means you must be understandable, right? There is a wrong notion in people's mind that the people who speak fast, they have fluency in language. It is not so. If you cannot understand, it is good for nothing. Number two, I wish that instead of just reading out your presentations, your slides, if you can add certain details that would give more impacts to your presentation. Because whatever people read, if they listen to, there will not be more impact on your presentation. If you remember, I had shared once that there should not be more than 7 lines in one slide, and not more than 7 words in one line. Actually, there is a concept of 777 when talk about small presentations. There should not be more than 7 words in a line. There must not be 7 lines in a slide, and there must not be more than 7 slides. So it goes well actually. But here, to reduce your entire presentation into 7 slides, you need to work hard. People don't understand the difference between Word and PowerPoint. Most of the time, what happens that people copy text and paste into PowerPoint and speak and read out. That is not a good practice. So you make sure that whatever you do, whatever you present, right? Whenever you prepare your presentation, make sure that you have more bullet points and less paragraphs. That will give you an edge to present your ideas more effectively. Number three, when you select the template of the presentation or PowerPoint presentation, I hope that there must be somebody who should have used something else. But if you have used PowerPoint presentation, in that case, I expect you people that you consider, keep in mind the aesthetic sense, the color combinations. For example, dark backgrounds and dark fonts, they may not be good in a way, right? They may look good, but when you present it on the screen, it looks sometime, because if the projector is not properly working in that way, the things will look faded. So background and foreground, it should be contrast. Number four, if possible, use more charts, images, processes, in a way, infographics. Such kind of things will help you to make the audience understand, and even you can share more in minimum efforts. So you need to find out, select, filter, and finalize which images, sounds, videos, graphs are relevant to your presentation and can be presented. Time is very important. So keep things in your mind that you are supposed to prepare or present for 5 minutes, make sure that you complete by 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And 30 seconds you ask people for question. Generally, every presentation has one section called Q&A, question and answer. So if if you follow ideal format in that way, you you should select such kind of thing in the long run. So this is what I wanted to share. Make sure that you do the best and nothing less than best. Now, everybody, one by one, you type in the chat box that I'm ready with my presentation. So if you write I'm ready, I'll ask you to present. If you do not write, I'll ask randomly. See, this is one of your assignments. So it is directly mapped with your internal marks. Fine. So in that way, we can go. Lisa is ready, so we can start with Lisa. And yesterday, uh, I could find that there were two students, Sanjana and Deria. They created websites from Wix. There was one more student, I forgot his name. He created a travel blog on WordPress. So people are there, students are there. They are, you know, they find some innovative ideas. They surprise me, and I like that. If it is there, it would be good. Lisa from B Batch, she has also created a website, and I'm so proud of you, right? So we can start this. So Lisa, over to you. And by the time Lisa completes her presentation, I want five people at least to mention that I'm ready so that we can go ahead.
So, shall I start?
Please start, better.
So, can you see this? So, can you see my screen?
I'm not able to see your screen. Just a minute. Okay. Kushi is able to see this. There must be certain things. Okay, and now I guess I can see. Yes, read over. Fine. Yes, Lisa, go ahead. I can see.
So I have created one website for the book review with the wix.com. So now let me start my presentation. So I started with book lovers who wanted to read new books. So I'll first share what am I reading now. These days I am going through the book that is by Saranya Umakatham, that is One Day Life Will Change. It's the fastest book you can read. Those who are book lovers can surely read this book. So those who are not book lovers can have some suggestion in this comments. I have created two blogs which you can go through. One famous saying is that good friends, good books, and sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. This famous quotations are marked by marking. I just put on. Sir, I'm just changing the page.
Fine, no issue.
I had selected the book Love and Friendship by Jane Austen. So here is the book review. Sir, can you speak so it's clear?
I guess Lisa, yes, Lisa has joined again.
Sir, there is some network issue. I'll just try to solve it.
Fine, no issue. Take your time. So we'll be presenting after Lisa. Please write your name in the comment box.
So can I start again?
Please go ahead.
Sir, the book review I have to read whole or I have to just show it?
You show and summarize.
Okay. So this is my review page. I had selected the book Love and Friendship by Jane Austen. The story of this Love and Friendship revolves around there are four main characters. Uh, Jane had personally written this book for her cousin, that's Lady Philidor. The main role is played by her friend Isabel, Anne's daughter, Mariani. So many letters written by Mariani to Jan and Jan to Eliza. So you love reading this type of romantic novels. Either I can say it's a little fiction also. So this book is specially recommended to all the book lovers who love to read the books related to love, romance, fiction, literature. There are so many things you can explore with this book too. You can have so many incidents related to your life. So this was all about my review. This is my about page. You can know something about me.
Fine.
And the last page is of contact. So if you want some more other book reviews, you can contact me. So sir, is it fine?
Absolutely fine. I would
Okay,
like to
sir.
add one more thing to this. Jane Austen, she lived very less on the earth, but she lives in the
Yes,
hearts
sir.
of the people. Her another book, Pride and Prejudice. That book was suggested as a textbook for a Master of Commerce third year in Saudas University for many years. And if you remember, in the year 2004, one movie was released.
Yes, one movie is also there.
Yes, which was starred by Aishwarya Rai Bachchan and some other uh, stars. So even that is a very beautiful one. Fine. There is another one is Emma, which is written by her. She has actually written somewhere around six, seven novels. But the way she mentions and describes about Pride and Prejudice, and the main character in that novel was Elizabeth. So the things, even in that movie and that novel also, the story revolved around that character, and it talks about pride and prejudice. It talks about love and ego and jealousy and all. So these are the things. So it described and displayed the different mechanism and system of our society in terms of what we call it middle class and upper middle class and rich people. So that was mentioned there. It was a very, very nice book, rather. Fine. Uh,
Even in that movie, the lady Suzanne had played the important role.
yes. So there are characters. They have certain importance and impacts in our minds. So it happens over there. Fine.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
right. Very good, Lisa. So next one. Who will come with the next? Lisa, you can, if you can nominate your friend.
I think Kushi can start with it.
Okay, fine. Kushi, if you can start.
No, sir, I am not yet prepared. I was ill by 2 days, so
Okay,
sorry, sir.
it's okay. No, no issue. If you have some other people in that way, you are not required to be sorry. If there is nobody else, everybody has certain genuine, valid, into bracket so-called reason. So in that way, we'll have to do something, because this is being recorded, will be evaluated, and you will get marks based on that. So on the day of your test, if you do not perform, there's a problem. Yes. Meanwhile, we have got a good news from all the way from Ankit Pipalia. So Ankit is going to present. Over to Ankit. Ankit, you've got 5 minutes to complete your presentation. 5, 7 minutes, not more than that. Right?
Hello, hello everyone. Uh, my book review is today Wings of Fire from APJ Abdul Kalam. Let's talk about his life. Dr. Kalam was born in Rameswaram, and he was take his degree in aeronautical engineering in Madras Institute of Technology. His father name is Junula bin Den. He specialized aero engineering from Madras Institute of Technology. Uh, he intentionally worked in DRDO in 1958. Then he joined ISRO in 1963. Dr. Kalam has made significant contribution to Indian satellites and launch vehicles of ISRO and missiles program from DRDO. He rejoined DRDO in 1982. Then he was scientific advisor to defense minister and secretary. Uh, then he chairman of technology information department and forecasting. He planned a program that produced number of successful missile. So he earned nickname his missile man. His work to lead Pokhran 2 nuclear test in 1998, which reiterated India's position as a nuclear weapon state. In 2002, Kalam was nominated to succeed outgoing president. Kalam was easily won election in 2002 and continued up to 2007. He transformed India into a very developed country by giving us a good missile progressive and visionary. Uh, it has been reported that there is a considerable demand in South Korea for translated version of his authorized book. In 2000 April 14 and April 4, Kalam took his lecture to world largest battlefield Siachen Glacier. The one-time missile man of India braved the chill and spent time interacting with the troops. In 2006, he created history by becoming first president undertake a fighter aircraft, uh, and he was a co-pilot in there. Here is a photo, and uh, his habit. Kalam is began his day by reading Bhagavad Gita. He work about 18 hours each day. He play Rudra Veena. He took just leave twice when his parents died. He is confessed as a Ram Bhakt. He got many awards like this Padma Vibhushan, Bharat Ratna. Thank you.
Nice, Ankit. Yes, I guess Rutvi would present now.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Today the book on which I'm going to talk about is titled as We Were Liars. It's written by the author E. Lockhart. It focuses on the theme of self acceptance, family morals, and the possible deadly consequences of one's mistake. It is young adult fiction and is based on psychological thriller. In the title, Liars refers to these four characters, from which Cadence, Joni, and Miran are three cousins, whereas the other one, fourth one, Gatwick Patil, is the outsider who stays with Joni and his family during the summertime. Here, Cadence Sinclair is the eldest Sinclair grandchild and is the narrator of the book. So here is the summary of the book. So the story is centered on the wealthy, perfect Sinclair family who spends every summer gathered on their private island. However, not every summer is same. When something happens to Cadence during the summer of her fifth year, the four liars re-emerge 2 years later to prompt Cadence to remember the incident. So the theme of the book is everything is not as it seems. This is because you never know what is going on in family. Therefore, it's not always it seems. Sinclair family believed in putting on happy faces regardless of problems they were having. Some members of the family couldn't express their emotions and how upset they were about fighting going on in their family. The family continued to deny their problems even after a tragic event. This story is about a girl named Cadence who is desperately trying to get her memory back after a terrible accident that happened over summer vacation. So, throughout the book, she slowly regains her memory and finally remembers her tragedy. She lives in Burlington, Vermont during her school years, but action in the We Were Liars takes place on this fictitious island called Beechwood. So the conflict in the story is man versus self. Katie believes in living the moment and making everything perfect. She's afraid that she will split up with her cousins Tony and Meryl, uh, because they are growing older and they have to go to different universities, and she did not wanted that. She loves them so much. From gets faded t-shirt to Miran's cheesy town stories, the liars have been wearing two old year clothes all summer, and now Cadence knows why. They tell her it's hard to stick around, so she goes with them to the beach to say goodbye. Cadence think of all these things they dreamed of but will never have, and resolves to, as Miran says, be a little kinder than you have to. You guys might not be understanding this right now because uh, I have used words as such as a tragic incident or incident, but haven't discussed what exactly is the incident. It's because it's like giving spoiler to someone before watching the movie. So after you read this book, this all will make sense. So I enjoyed this book, and I would suggest it to anybody who are especially beginners. It is very interesting book that will keep you on the edge of your seat, wanting it to find more and more about Cadence incident. I like the way the author wrote some chapters in the story, in the story form about a king who had three daughters, and then explained the situation going on in their life. So the ending was such a surprise that I did not see it coming, and to me, it was a very well written story. So I would recommend this book to everyone who is looking for a romantic story with a twist and a good summer heart. So thank you.
Fine, Prithvi. It was good. Even the presentation was good. It was something extraordinary. It was not the routine style of presentation. The
Thank you so much, sir.
yeah. Fine. Is next Kushal. Dux, you can start. I guess there's some technical issue with Daksh. Jwalan, are you ready? Jwalan, Keyur, Bhavesh, Isha, Kushi, if you are ready now. Nirbhay, Parth, Rajesh, Ravi. Don't wait for me to call you. See, I had given this task before a month. In 30 days' time, it should be completed. On the last day, on the day of presentation, on the day of test, if you say that I have a problem, I'm not ready, that is not acceptable. By the time Dux resolves his problem, I guess uh, Mahima or DI, whoever is ready, they can start.
Sir, I can present.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
After that, Jay and then Jwalant. And after that, I want people to write down, I'm ready, so that I can ask them to present.
Sir, is it visible? Sir, am I audible? So today good afternoon, good morning everyone. I'm here to present my book review. The name of my book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is written by Stephen R. Covey. It was published in 1989 and it was published by Free Press. It is very inspirational and motivational book. So the genre of the book is self-help. The summary of the book is it is a self-improvement book. It was written on Covey's belief that the way we see the world is entirely based on our perceptions. In order to change a given situation, we must change ourselves, and in order to change ourselves, we must be able to change our perceptions. The 7 habits that are mentioned in the book are: be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first, think win-win, seek first to understand, then to be understood, synergize, sharpen the saw. One of my favorite habit was first thing first. He talks about what it is important and what is urgent. We should always prioritize our goals. The characters in the book are it is written by Stephen Covey, so he's the main character. He is the author of the book and interposes himself and his own experience into the prose. He includes many personal experiences that
illustrate his points, and he thus appears to be the most prominent character in this non-fiction work. The other characters are Sandra, Hovey's children, Nicholas, and Albert Einstein. My favorite character was the author itself. He very well narrates his incidents, and we get to learn many things from him. From it, he inspires me to be goal oriented, and he also teaches how to plan our things and prioritize our goals. The personal opinions are the book is filled with very inspirational lines which can be quoted at any moment of the life. The lines in this book leaves you to keep the book down and wonder about it regarding your life and what all things you have been doing wrong. The one of the quote which I liked was the most is most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. This was my favorite one, and I personally got a real help from this book regarding some things which I thought were the necessities of life and discovered the wrong steps which were leaving me miserable. I would like to recommend this book to all the teenagers, especially students, because it is very motivational and inspirational, and it teaches us very important lessons of our life journey. So I would give a 5 on 5 rating to this book. Thank you.
Very good, Mahima. Even there is another quote for people related to listening is people react to when they listen to instead of responding. So when you respond to
Yes,
that may work, but when you react, it's something like you go halfway in cricket, and before the ball is there halfway, you take it full toss and you try to hit, and many times it happens that you lose your wickets. So this is something in that way.
yes, sir.
So when
Yes,
somebody is speaking, when somebody is telling you, you should develop the habit of listening. If you are a good
yes,
listener, you can be a good speaker, right? that
yes,
that
sir.
was my understanding while when I read this book some years back, maybe around 10 years back or so, because when I was a student, even at that time, this was a hot cake. People love to read this book.
Yes.
Fine, good. Jay, if you're ready, you
Thank you,
can
sir.
start sharing. My might
Yes,
was
sir.
good, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Presenting, sir. Hello, good morning. I'm presenting book review for the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm share with you my personal opinion in Seven Habits in details about this book. This book written by Stephen R. Covey and published in 1989, interviewed the CEOs of the Fortune 100 stone companies. 256 weeks on the New York Times is the best seller of list of 50 million copies or sold. In review, the seven key habits of highly effective people was written by a late Mr. Stephen Covey more than 50 years back, but its techniques, applications, and preparation, uh, preparation is very much valid even till today. Covey believes that the way we see things in the world is entirely based on our perceptions and beliefs. So, in order to change something, we must change ourselves and even the way we see things. We talk about the seven habits are below. There is the seven habits. First, be proactive. Second, being with the end in mind. Third, put first thing first. Fourth, think win-win. Fifth, first understand, then be understood. Sixth, synergies. 7. Start your song. And 8 habits. Find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. This is aired in 2004. First habit. Be productive. Being productive does not mean not being left by the horns. It means focusing only on events that are within your realm of control and not worry about the thing that you cannot change. Habit 2. Being with the end in mind. The second habit you develop is to learn how to plan your goals. This habit is a method of physiological create, and when it is mastered, it makes the physical creation of your goals much easier. Habit 3. Put first thing first. Habit 3 is all about prioritizations. It is essential that you develop your habit and your priorities to meet your own goals. Please follow habit 2 because it is a physical creation of your goals. It cuts off, it cuts out and needless work or let's put in of unity. It is absolutely necessary. According to Covey, prioritization is not about learning how to manage your time. It is about learning how to manage yourself. And habit 4, think win-win. When you were developing the habits that lead to personal victory, you learn how to create a winning situation for yourself. You can use this skill to translate that win into a public victory. When you are creating a winning scenario in a public setting, you would call it a win-win. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then be understood. Listening is one of those habits that need to uh, constantly developed because it will continuity to listen the other person just for the sake of empathizing with them. It make it hard to find the benefits of listening. Covey says that the value of listening is more powerful than many give it credit for because it allows you to rather real data rather than previous data. Habit 6. Scenarios. This is your best interest because when you have a bigger network of effective people working on a problem, you are more likely to come up with a very viable, creative solution while expanding less energy. Know how the each person brings to the table can be a force to create a scenario in which you do not have a survive in individuals on a team, but one team made up of several individuals. Corey believed that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. In Cohen's positive response to individual contribution and provide the content for the individual in effective habits. Habit 7. Start the start. Corey described this as self-renewal and he believes that it is these habits that make everything else possible. To make sure that you cover all four ways, you might consider the following habits: physical self, proper exercising and nature as well as stress management, mental self, reading, studying, and writing as well as visualizing and planning your goals, social self service, others practice empathy, and work toward synergy. Self-serving synergy. Meditation as well as spiritual reading and study. If I summarize, everything is one sentence. The seven habits of highly effective people is a principle centered. character based inside out approach to personal and interpersonal efficiency. Thank you.
Fine day. Good. Okay. Now, Jwalant.
Yes, sir. I present. Sir, it's visible. Sir, it's visible.
Yes, Jwalant. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Today I am here to present the book review for the book The Alchemist. The Alchemist book is a very good book, and it's become many times the bestseller book in the world. The Alchemist. First, I say about general information of the book. Like the name of the author is Paulo Coelho, and the publication date 1988, publisher Harper Torque, and the edition is 25th anniversary edition. The genre of the book is quest, adventure, fantasy, and many more. We can say that's motivational, and the number of pages are 208 pages, and it's ISBN code. And the summary of the book is like that. While sleeping near a sycamore tree in the sacred city of an abandoned church, the Santiago, this is the main character of the book, a shepherd boy, has a recurring dream about a child who tells him that he will find a hidden treasure if he travels to the Egyptian pyramids. And he then go to an old woman who tells Santiago that his dream is prophetic and he must follow its instructions. Santiago is uncertain. However, since he enjoys the life of a shepherd. Next, Santiago meets a mysterious old man who seems able to read his mind. This man introduces himself as Melchizedek, or the king of the Salem. He tells Santiago about good and bad omens and says that it is a shepherd boy's duty to pursue his personal legend. Melchizedek then gives Santiago two stones, Urim and Thummim, with which to interpret omens. Santiago wavers briefly before selling his cloak and purchasing a ticket to Tangier in northern Africa, to which he travels by boat. Shortly after he arrives there, a thief steals all of Santiago's money. So the shepherd boy decides to look for a way to make enough money to return home. He finds work in the shop of a crystal merchant, where Santiago makes improvement that reap considerable financial rewards. After 11 months of working in the shop, Santiago is unsure of how to proceed. But he never stopped. So he returned to his town, a rich man, and buy more ships. Or should he cross the West Sahara in pursuit of the hidden treasure of his dreams? He joins a caravan traveling to Egypt. Santiago meets an Englishman who wants to learn the secret of alchemy or turning any metal into gold from a famous alchemist who lives at an oasis on the way to the pyramids. While traveling, Santiago becomes listening to the desert and discovering the soul of the world. The caravan eventually reaches the oasis, and the Santiago meets an Arab girl named Fatima and falls in love with her instantly. The caravan leaders gathers the travelers together and tells them that the tribal warfare prevents them from continuing their journey. Santiago wanders from the oasis into the desert and seeing two hawks fighting in the sky and a vision of army entering the oasis. Because attacking an oasis is a violation of the rules of the desert, Santiago shares the vision with the oasis tribal chieftain. Soon afterwards, Santiago is confronted by a black-garbed whaler stranger with a sword who sits atop a white horse. It is the alchemist, the tribal chieftain. Armies his men, and they are well prepared when the oasis is invaded. The alchemist offers to cross the desert with the Santiago. Soon, the two men enters into an area of intense tribal warfare. The war is done, and the warriors hold the two men captive, but eventually allow them to continue their journey. The alchemist tells Santiago that he needs to return to the oasis, and that the rest of the trip is Santiago's to make alone, so that he can claim his personal legend. But Santiago doesn't stop, and Santiago arrives at Egyptian pyramids and begins to dig. He finds nothing buried in the ground. Thieves beat Santiago and rob him of his all money. After he tells them of his dream, So one of the thieves recounts his own dream and about a buried treasure in the secrecy of an abandoned church where the Santiago starts his journey. The treasure is there. Return to his town and Andalusia, Santiago goes back to the church where he dreamed of the treasure near the pyramid. He digs where he slept, beneath a sycamore tree, and there it is, Santiago's treasure. He finds there. There are so many major and minor characters are there. First, I say about the major character, like Santiago is the major character, a novel protagonist, a young shepherd who sets out in quest for treasure. Melchizedek, the old man who meets Santiago at the beginning of his quest to find his treasure and who say himself as the king of the Salem. The alchemist meets Santiago in the oasis where Santiago's desert caravan stormed to avoid the tribal wars. The alchemist is a mentor for Santiago, and the alchemist who converts metal into gold. And the many other major characters like Fatima Englishman, Fortune Teller, the Thief, Santiago's Heart, Desert, and many more. Minor characters like Santiago's father wanted him to become a priest, but he respected his son's dream and gave him gold to buy his stock of ships. And the merchants, early in the novel, Santiago is contemplating his manual return to a town where he sells some of his ships. And other minor characters like Monk. And the favorite character like Santiago, a shepherd boy from a small town, is the protagonist of The Alchemist. He is determined, headstrong, and curious to learn all he can about the world. So this story keeps the reader interested, and the story is very like adventure fantasy, and it's also a friction-based story. The book is life enhancing, and it's a very simple read. It gives a different outlook. So I can recommend this book to those who have big goals in their life, who want to do success, and who does not stop due to any of hurdles. Thank you.
Good, Jwalan.
Thank you, sir.
The flow was good. Fine. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Is it visible, sir?
Just a minute. Yes.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Makadia. I will share the book review of Born to be Happy. Name of author is Pramod Batra. Publication date is 2004. Publisher Full Circle. And the next summary. Life is funny and very unfair to say the least. When we buy a when we buy a cellular phone, we get detailed instruction book, but when we get married, we got no family manual and we short of muddle through life. And God gives children to the inspired parents. When we are born in a family business, life comes to us sort on a golden plate, and all the golden goodies come along with it before we deserve them. But meaning relationship in a family business can be real tough one. The unique of Batra is his belief that life is actually meant to be happy, and in this book he shows us how simple it can be. Book will you give precise principles for happy personal and family life. Personal opinion. This book through I inspired how to we can happy in our life everybody is born to be happy. We should see everything is positive in our life. Nowadays, some people looking all thing negatively. My personal thought is every people are born to be happy. Recommendation. I would like to recommend this book to every people because it teaches us too. We are born to be happy. I will give 5 out of 5 rating of this book. Thank you everyone.
Good, Jenny.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, will come now. Yes, Isha, please go ahead. Isha, don't be panic. Take your time. It's okay. It's visible. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Isha, I and I today I my book is Connect the Dots, and author Connect the Dots
Isha,
are written.
Isha,
Yes,
Isha,
sir.
if you can click on the present button
Okay,
on
sir.
the top third button, so it will start presenting. No, no, in the same window. Anyways, go ahead. No problem. Whatever is comfortable, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Connect the Dots are written by Rashmi Bansal, and Rashmi Bansal is a writer, entrepreneur, and a youth expert. She is the author of the bestseller Stay Hungry and Stay Foolish. This book is published in 2010 and published by Eclavier Education Foundation. Summary is the book. Connect the Dots is the story of 20 inter- enterprising individuals without an MBA who started their own ventures. They were driven by the desire to prove themselves, to lead interesting and passionate and meaningful lives. The 20 stories has been divided into three sets wise Jugaad, Junun and Zuban. All stories have few adventurous moments where the entrepreneur shared some little known facts about the industry or something special they did to beat the system. In the Jugaad, the author has covered entrepreneur who create business the Indian way through Jugaad. Junun is a collection of the seven entrepreneurs who were crazy about a particular idea where where there is a, was Reva electric cars or Hathi chap paper. Last section Zuban carries four stories of creative people who just followed their dreams until they reached to a height where the world known them. My personal opinion is I liked this book very much because it's an inspirational story of whose people that entrepreneur without an MBA and who dared to find their one own path. My favorite among these was the story of Shakti Sudha Industries from Bihar, which will make us believe that even in the land of crime, business can thrive. We need to find the right path and know how to take people together. The stories say one thing loud and clear that we don't need a fancy degree or a rich daddy to dream big and make happen. It's all in our head, our heart, and our hands. I recommended these books everyone because it's a really good book to read that's inspiring for all people who want something to do in their life. All the entrepreneur stories are encouraging. Thank you, sir.
Nice one, Isha. Good. Yeah, we will go next. Isha, if you can, yes, Rajesh. Rajesh, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is visible.
Done. The Alchemist.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Rajesh Burma. Today I am book review about the book name is the Alchemist. The author name is the Paulo Coelho. Is born August 27, 1947. Nationality is Brazilian. Language Portuguese. Occupation novelist. The book title is The Alchemist. Type is novel. Genre is fiction. Year is 1988. Place Brazil. Author Paulo Coelho. Publisher Harper One. The narrator omniscient. Both third person. Tone, myth and fable. Tense, past tense. Themes. Central list of personal legend. Unity of nature and danger of fear. Motif, dreams, maktub, omens. The book setting pre-modern time past. Geographic setting Spanish pastures, Spanish town of Tarifa, the city of Tangier in North Africa and the Sahara Desert. Character The main character in this book is Santiago, the book's center character, and the adventurer shepherd who have unwavering resolve to accomplish his personal legend of finish a treasure. And second character is the alchemist. He is a 2,200-year-old, extremely points alchemist inhabiting in all famous oasis. Next character is Crystal Merchant, a struggling merchant who owns a crystal shop on top of desolate hill. He is a good-hearted and devout Muslim, but has a crippling fear of change. Next character is Englishman, a well-educated science scholar, gritty to learn the clandestines of alchemist by learning from a factual alchemist. He is a cynic and adore reading his tongue. Next character is Melchizedek, the king of the slum. He appears to possess magical power and hate those pursuing their person listen. The next character is the Fatima, the gorgeous and innocent Juveline desert woman who live at the Alphamus Oasis. The next character is Gypsy, the old woman living in Tarifa who interpret a dream, and Camel Driver, a friendly from orchard owner and David Muslim, the tribal chieftain of all famed, the strict and ruthless tribal chieftain who live in luxury. A merchant daughter, the beautiful, intelligent, raven-haired daughter of the merchant, a merchant who buy wool from Santiago on yearly basis, caravan leader, the goal leader of a caravan traveling across the Sahara Desert from Tangier to Egypt. Summary: Santiago is the shepherd who journey everywhere with his sheep. One day he had a dream about treasury in the pyramids in the desert, so he sailed his ship and journeyed to the treasure. Upon his journey, he was a robber, so he worked under a crystal merchant. After saving a amount of money, he joined a caravan which will traveling across the Sahara Desert. In the journey, he met an Englishman who wanted to be an alchemist. The caravan stopped on Oasis because there is tribal war further beyond the desert. There he met Fatima, the girl he loved. In the oasis, he also met the 200-year-old alchemist. Then, when they told that it is the safe to traveling, they go along their journey to pyramids. But they were captured by the tribesmen to be fled by the enemy. Santiago, proud that he was powerful by morphing into the winds. After their escape, they go separate ways. Santiago go on to the pyramids. In the pyramids, Santiago found nothing. He met someone who dreamed about a treasury in a ruined church. Then Santiago realized that his treasure is in Spanish. So he went to back and found his treasure. Artemis symbol. The Santiago's shape symbol is the sort of the existence lie by those who are complete blind to their personal legend. Alchemist, in which a base metal is transformed into a more valuable metal like gold. Function as the dominant symbol is the alchemist and represents Santiago's journey to achieve his personal legend. The desert, with its harsh condition and tribal war, symbolize the serious difficulty that await anyone in the pursuit of their personal legend, but it also serves as an important teacher to Santiago during his journey to the pyramids. Crystal glassware, fragility and clarity as the characteristic represented by the crystal merchant is crystal glassware. Urim and Thummim. This stone stand for the characters and need to respond to women, which are the essential motivating factor. Sycamore tree. This tree represent Egypt, the place where sycamore come from. Oasis. The oasis symbol is life, love, and domesticity. The pyramid represent ancient and incredible, and thief represent anyone who tried to find a shortcut to his or her personal legend. The journey is necessary according to the alchemist and water. Life is synonymous with water in the novel and perhaps for love too. Thank you.
Rajesh, nice effort. I guess you did it for the first time, Rajesh, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is
Fine.
my first time.
Yes. So that's why I could find some anxiety, some tension, right? If you remember now, when I told you presentation is present tension, now you agree with me. Fine. So, but it was in the first go, it was good. You
Yes,
can
sir.
improve. There is a lot of room for improvements.
Yes, sir.
But I'm happy that you started. You came out and you said that I'll present, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
So everybody does first time someday. So you did it. Now It's time for second time, third time, and the best time. Fine, Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. Yes, Kayur, go ahead.
Sir, it is visible.
Just a minute. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Today I will book review about the art of thinking clearly. Author Rolf Dobelli, published date at 2013. Genre of the book non-fiction. This is the cover of the book. Stories. Rolf Dobelli, which describes in short chapters of 99 of the most common thinking errors, ranging from cognitive biases to envy and social distortions. This book covers 99 common cognitive errors we are facing in our everyday life. Personal opinion of this book. In our regular life, we are thinking every time and we have to improve our thinking, then we have to read this book. This book learn you about how you can think different in different situations. Recommendation. Personally, I enjoyed this book because if you want to improve your thinking power, you can read this book. If you are a book lover, then you have to read this book one time. The ratings of this book is 4 star. Thank you, sir.
Fine, Kayur. Next. After Kayur will come. Parth, what about you? Parth, are you there? Fine, then who is remaining now? Kushal?
Sir, can I start?
Yeah, Daksh, you can, no problem.
It's visible, sir.
Yes, but yeah, I guess you need to select your presentation.
It's visible, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead. The postmaster, right?
Today I'm. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm book review for the Postmaster, and title was the Postmaster. And name of the author is Rabindranath Tagore, and first published in Penguin Books, 1891. And genre of the book is fiction, and number of the pages is 426. ISBN number and price is 435 rupees. There are many stories in this book, and my personal favorite is the Postmaster. And in this story, the two characters, the Postmaster and Ratan, the short story, take you back to an age where Bengal was metamorphosing into New Age India. The underlying perspectives seem to be woman-oriented and primarily and breaking tradition secondarily. Also, common factor was the heartbreaking and pain, oftentimes avoidable. In this story, Rabindranath Tagore described how to post-work received job in a remote village named Lapur, and he comes from the Kolkata to his village, and also in this village lives a orphan girl named Ratan. He felt lonely, probably for the reason he started teaching this orphan girl. And postmaster used to have dinner with Ratan and also say this life story to one another. And probably for the reason postmaster job in a remote village, the postmaster miss her mother very much, and this reason he decided to leave this place and return to home. And postmaster called Ratan and told to visit him and leave this place for her. Then Ratan suddenly asked him, Dada, will you take me to your home? The postmaster laughed and says, what an idea. In the overnight, Ratan thinking about his laughing reply. Then time was postmaster preparing to go home. Postmaster called Ratan and said, don't worry, I told the next postmaster to take care of you. And the line hurts Ratan hard. She was very sad because postmaster going to home. And finally, postmaster left this place and go to home. And when postmaster reached halfway, also very sad, but he means her mother. So he thinking go back and get that girl with his, but he moved faster away from the village. He left for job and eating and living his rule of the world. Whatever it was, he accepted, and that was his philosophy. And Rabindranath Tagore, best word I converted into Hindi. Mm, it was रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर बोलते हैं कि हर इंसान को फुलिश नेचर है, झूठी उम्मीदों में जीने का इंसान का नेचर है कि उन्हें झूठी उम्मीदों में जीने का बहुत पसंद है। जब उसके दिलों से झूठी उम्मीदें खत्म हो जाती है तो वो फिर से एक नई झूठी उम्मीदों की तरफ जाता है, वही गलती बार बार दोहराता है। Since this is the first book of Rabindranath Tagore that I am getting to read, and I just love to this book. And the Postmaster is my favorite character. This book has many inspiration stories like Punishment in Kabuliwala. The line was said by Ratan, Dada, will you take me to your home? If I am able to do something that I make sure that to fulfill the Ratan wish. I would recommend this book to my friends and family, and I personally, and I person who can understand the emotion of the stories and can understand the character. And I would rate this book 10 out of 10. And because the story in this book can capture anyone attention, and it's simple but interesting story lineups. Thank you, sir.
Fine, Daksh. Good. I guess it was first time or second time, Daksh?
Yes, second time,
Second
sir.
time. Okay, fine. Good. Yes, Parth.
So is it visible?
Yep. You need to
Okay.
select presentation.
So now,
Yes.
okay. Good morning, everyone. I am here to present my book review on the name of the book is Magic Factory. This is the general information of the book. The author is the Morgan Rice. Publication date is 2018, and the publisher is Noah Luckman. The genre of the book is fiction. Number of pages is 324. The genre is sci-fi and fantasy, and this is the ISBN number. So quickly, I would like to go to the summary. This is the summary. It's of 4 slides, but I will short it down to few words. This is a very interesting adventure, inspiring fantasy filled with invention, magic, friendship, shocking twists and turns, and it says how a person can actually make a difference in the world. So the story is about a skinny boy named Oliver Blue who has got supernatural power in lately. Story starts with a boy named Oliver who is a ordinary kid living with a family who didn't love him. So that comes a contrast like two brothers, parents love one and doesn't love one, so they're what I say, like fighting. Yeah. Okay. Then next, he was bullied by his fat, abusive elder brother Chris. So no one likes to be bullied, I guess. And this is all about when one day he was roaming inside the factory, suddenly opens a door and find that it was the factory of Armando. He was there in front of him. Then they both started living together and left from his family. With Armando, he went invisible clothes, and one day he get to know that he was seer with superpower. So he was the best among the history of Peel, and he had a mission to save the world lately. And to increase his power, he went back in time where he find Ralph. He is one of his friends, and he took him to the school of seers so that he can be trained more and more. Lately, he discovered that there is one Hitler name who wants to destroy the city of Germany by bombarding the bombs, and he himself goes to the city of Germany and destroys the bomb. So he gets victory in that and destroy the bomb. These are some characters. Oliver Blue is the main character. Chris Blue is the elder brother of Oliver. Miss Belfry is Oliver's science teacher. Edmund is the one who bullied Oliver. Armando is the inventor. Lucas is the assistant of Armando. These are some friends of Oliver: Ralph, Esther, Ichiro, and Hazel. And my favorite characters: Oliver Blue, Esther, Armando. Especially Oliver. Why? Oliver was a seer. He was a boy with kind nature. He always stay busy with inventions. He loves to read inventions and inventors and inventions done by them. He was active to help needy people. He had served a city by destroying bomb. My personal opinions. An inspiring fantasy, interesting adventure, his quest to save the world, filled with magic. And here I want to add one more point, which goes to negative. Why? As I said earlier, that he was bullied by Edmund, so no one's like that, and his family also didn't adore him. So I noticed that here, where we have to get better, the way we treat each other and look out for each other, it has to get better somehow. And these are not my lines; these are the lines from Clay Jensen, which is spoke in 13 Reasons Why. Some of have you watched that? And this line is especially catched by me because this is in today's world we have to grab that because it's difficult. My favorite part when Oliver through his powers get to know about destruction which is planned by Hitler to destroy the city of Germany. So without informing anyone, he became the hero and he went to the place of the city and destroyed the bomb. Recommendation: I personally recommend this book for the teenagers ones as the storyline is full of adventure, and yeah, it pulled me back to the childhood days. When we were very fond of magic, adventure, and all wizards like things. We almost love that. My rating is 4.8 out of 5. So, any questions and queries? Please, I would like to help them. No one else Thank you.
Fine, Parth. I would like to mention one thing. You people use PowerPoint presentation. Now, when you use PowerPoint presentation, you must be using smart arts. Fine. So when you use smart art, you can right click on smart art and you can go with ungroup. If you do it twice, you can ungroup any smart art and you can rearrange, regroup as per your requirement, as per your needs. If you want to remove certain part, for example, there are seven things in your list and there are eight parts in the smart art. You can ungroup it and you can remove one, you can add one more. I hope it would help you to prepare your presentations well. Part you did it well. The way you presented, I felt like I should read this book. It was
Thank you, sir.
nicely narrated. Fine. Next, I guess Anand is ready. So, Anand, you can take the charge.
Sir, is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Hello everyone. Today I am share one book review of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Here is the book author Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon lecture. Uh, Published date April 1, 2000. Publisher Warner Books. Genre of book is personal finance, business, investing. Number of pages is 207, and here is the ISBN number of book. Uh, there are five characters in this book. First is Poor Dad, second is Rich Dad, third is Robert Kiyosaki, fourth is Mike, and fifth is Mrs. Martin. Robert Kiyosaki tells the story of his two dads in his childhood, his own father and the father of his best friend. While he loved both, they were very different when it came to dealing with finance. We let the two main emotion everyone has around money dominate our decisions, fears and greeds. That's why we still stick to the outdated mantra: go to school, go to college, get a job, play it safe. When in reality, no job is safe anymore. For example, when you get a rise at your job, a wise choice would be to invest the extra money in something that builds wealth like stocks or bonds, which has medium to high risk but also a very high reward. Maybe you find a good fund with 60% chance to double your money within a year, but 40% chance of losing it at all. Uh, However, most likely you fear of losing the money uh, altogether will keep you from doing so. But when your greed takes over, you might then spend the extra money on an improvement lifestyle, like buying a car, and the payments eat up the money. This way, you are guaranteed to lose 100%. This already gives you a glimpse how important it is to educate yourself financially. Since we received no financial education in schools or college, sadly, this is entirely up to you. Look around and you will see plenty of financially ignorant people in your own life. Just take a look at local politicians in their cities. In depth, you mayor might be a great mayor, but unfortunately, no one even taught him how to deal with money. For same reason, 38% of Americans don't save anything for their retirements. The only way for you to contract this is to start now. Next, adopt to a mindset of work to learn instead of work to earn. Uh, take a job in field you have no clues about, such as sales, customer service, or communications, to develop new skills. You never know what they might be good for. Set aside 5% of your income each month to buy books, a course, and attend seminars on personal finance to start building your financial IQs. The first step towards building wealth lies in the mindset of managing risk. Don't start big. Just set a small amount like 1,000 or even $100 and invest it in stock bonds or even tax liens certificates. Trust the money as if gone forever, and you will lose among losing it. As soon as you start your journey towards wealth, you will realize that it will be quite a long one. That's why it is important to say motivation. Uh, Kiyosaki suggests creating an I want and I don't want list. Use your money to acquire asset instead of liabilities. Asset are stock, bonds, real estate that you want rent out, realities, and anything that generates money and increase in value over time. Liabilities can be a car or electronics with maintenance cost and monthly payments, a house with mortgage, and of course debt, basically anything that takes money out of your pocket each month. The most important thing is you start today. You are your own biggest asset. So first thing you should put some money into is yourself. Robert Kiyosaki is my favorite character. He is spectator who earns lesson from both, but initialize only rich day trades. Here is my personal opinion. I read the book and I loved it. I felt a little heartbroken when I found out that most of the story is made up, and that is so much criticism about Robert and the book. One sentence we understand from book is an asset is something that puts money in my pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out from my pocket. This is a bookism. The book is not too longer either, and the initial story of mostly covered in the first 15 pages. So I highly recommended you get a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad and read it yourself. It cost less than $10, which I think make it a great investment. When I still recommended this book, especially for beginners, entrepreneurs. In my opinion, many topics he discuss hold the test of time, but take some of what Robert Kiyosaki says with a grain of salt. It should be read, if not for motivation, just to get you think differently than a salaried employee. Thank you, everyone.
Anand, this book has got more than 20 editions, and
Yes, sir.
yes. So if you look at the ISBN number, you verify it. The ISBN number you have mentioned, maybe it is half, because generally ISBN number starts with 97, fine,
No,
and
sir.
you
I am search this book with ISBN number. It is same book. I am search already.
yeah, but you have, if you can show me your first page, first slide,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Is it visible?
yes. If you look at this ISBN number 0446677450, right? This
Yes.
cannot be ISBN number. ISBN number generally starts with 97. It can be something else. For example, if you're taking this details from Amazon,
Yes.
right? So in that way, they have got the product IDs. So it can be that. So you verify it on your own. Fine.
Okay, sir.
And I suggest everyone, along with Anand, that you people, if you're not sure about the pronunciation of the words, right? So uh, it is better that you people use text to speech converter. Fine, it is available there. 2013 onwards, Microsoft Office itself gives you an option. You go to the menu bar, and if you can select speak option, right, that Microsoft can speech engine can speak for you. And there are also other softwares available on net, so that will give you confidence while speaking typical word. For example, entrepreneur is a word, so entrepreneur, so what to speak. Fine, so that can give you an idea. So I suggest everyone, if you feel that you are not confident about pronouncing a particular word, it's better that you consult that pronunciation key on Google instead of speaking it wrongly. Fine. Otherwise, fine. Next, welcome next. After Anand, Bhavesh, Chintan, Ravi, Rutvi, Krunal, Kushi, have you completed your presentation or not? We are about to complete our 2 hours of lab session. We've got 10 minutes. Meanwhile, everybody is requested to write down enrollment number for attendance purpose. So we don't waste our time in taking attendance. Kushi, when we have only 10 minutes, 5 minutes is too much. I'm waiting for presentation. Bhavesh, is it done? Fine. No issue, Parks. If you have shared, if you created a blog, let me know. Bhavesh, if you can unmute your mic and tell me what is the issue.
Hello, sir. Am I
Yes, Bhavesh.
audible?
Yes, Bhavesh.
Last 2 days, due to my health, sir, I not completed full. I
Fine.
prepared
So,
it, sir. Sir, I
uh,
prepared some small topics, but not full presentation, sir.
but Bhavesh, I had given you task for 1 month. It has been a month and you are ill by 2 days.
Yes, sir, but by month I was not preparing by the first days. I prepare it by 4 or 5 days, so it is not completed, sir.
Fine. No issue. Yes, Kushi, please go ahead.
So is it visible? Hello.
Just a minute. You have not started sharing. You start sharing first. Switch the screen. Yes.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
So I have written something in tilted form, so to drive your attention just to. And these are the novels which is earned by me, by my money, and I have not read yet, but yes, I am going to read it. And one of them is Fault in Our Stars, and they have two covers. And I know you have already saw this novel and read this about read something relatable to this somewhere. And let us talk something about the author. Fault in Our Stars, a novel by John Green, and it is his fourth solo novel and sixth from overall, published on January 10, 2012. And the title was inspired by Act 1, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's by play by Julius Caesar. And the Brutus was said by Cassius that the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. That we are underlings. So these are the movies, and we all know who was Sushant Singh Rajput and the other one.
So these are two movies which was published based on this novel. Fault in Our Stars was directed by Joss Bone, and the film star are the noted below. They are and Dil Bechara was directed by Mukesh Chabra. Sushant Singh Rajput and Sangna Sanghi was the star. The summary is the story was narrated by Hazel Grace Lancaster, a 16-year-old girl with thyroid cancer that has affected her lungs. Hazel is forced by her parents to attend a support group where she subsequently meets and falls in love with a 17-year-old boy, and he was an basketball player. So, so the whole story was story is it has scene of sadness and delicacy about certain situations that people have to deal with in life. The title of the book was inspired by Shakespeare, as I said, and at start the reader is introduced to a character named Hazel Grace, a 16-year-old girl. Little further into a novel, we are also introduced to a character who is 17-year-old boy Augustus Gus Waters, and he had a tumor in his leg. Both of these characters end up falling for each other through all the troubles they had, ending up facing together. This novel progress the author makes reading more emotional for reader, and sometimes his writing will make you cry. In my opinion, to write a good book, you need to have a strong interest in what you are writing about. So don't get bored and actually enjoy writing. I am giving this book a rating of 5 out of 5 stars. I have watched both the movies, and Dil Bechara I watched overnight, and it was a really good and heart touching movie. Thank you.
Thank you, Kushi. Jenny, I guess if you can conclude the session. Jenny, are you there?
Yes, sir.
The remaining students will have to present in the next session, right? Whenever it is. Please go ahead. Jenny, start your concluding remarks.
Okay, sir. Hello, good day, good morning, everyone. This lab sir will explain to how can we present book review presentation and how can something new in presentation to author, and how we can learn about author presentation to inspire to author book review, and then thank you.
Fine. Okay. So with this, we call it for a day. Everybody presented well. I have shared my comments individually on your presentations. I hope that the people who are remaining, they will come prepared next time and they will rock the show. Fine. Meanwhile, I'll share the link of Google spreadsheet. Fine. And I'm planning that I'll give you allocate you people the topics. So of that micro level work, I'll share with you people so that you can directly post the questions and we can complete our task. By 15th of August, I want to launch that Google Voice Assistant application so that it can help you for your midsem exam. So by Saturday, latest by Saturday, I'll share, and I expect that next week, by next Wednesday, you people contribute your 10, 15 questions, whatever questions you know, you share, so that we can go ahead. So with this remark, uh, I bid bye to everyone. Have a nice day. Fine. And next time, those who are remaining, come prepared. Thank you very much, everybody.